Excuse me. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. If you are new to the channel, we create with our recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. If you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I'm very excited for today's video. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit in the other room and bring some of the crochet items in here so you can see. We've got some good light. I'm just going to turn this so you can see the, I don't know if you can see the plants. I'll put it like that. And I'm going to get the yarn and we will begin. I also have an address to give you for where to send hats if you're going to make any for the victims in the Jamaican storm, Jamaica storm. Okay, hi everyone. So sorry about that. I was not sure if I was even going to be alive, and I guess that everything is working pretty good now. So and I'm not even really sure it was broken as much as it was changed. So there were some changes on YouTube that I was not familiar with, and I think it's all good now. So I'm going to put this so you can see the birds a little bit while we're working if you want to look at the birds. That's my finches, little Mashuki and Umi. Hey, Mashuki and Umi. And I turned the cage because guess what? They like to see me. They like to see me. They are very, 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 very social. They're not the type of bird you can get and, you know, put them in a corner somewhere. And I just did, actually, if you're interested, over on my side channel, Vermont Sun and Shade, I just did a little video about keeping your pet birds warm. This has become an issue, not because it's not adequate heating in here. It is. It is. The thing of it is drafty. It's a very old house, so certain parts of it do get very, can get chilly. So, and will get very chilly, and it will not be good for the birds. So what I'm doing is just being super mindful where they are, you know, what the weather is, and I show you on Google, we Google together, that there are heaters that you can actually put on a bird's cage, which I had not a clue that they even had anything like that. So they have that, and so we go over that a little bit, but this way you can see the birds, and I want to cover them up there. Now, the other thing I have for you today, what we're doing today is making some flowers, and I made some here. We'll make some like this, and those are super easy, but I'll show you how to make those again. And this one I made and put a little button on it in the center, and I'll make some for these two hats, and then I'm going to send the hats to Jamaica, to the victims who were in the storm. So now Jamaica itself is not necessarily receiving um, packages, and it was very hard to find a business or organization that's hosting charity and donations for Jamaica. There were many, many, many of them doing that, but they were doing it for money. So it was very difficult to find someone who's saying, yeah, we'll take clothes. We're going to take clothing for Jamaica. So this one place I found is called Golden Crust Restaurant, and Golden, Golden, and crust is K. It's spelled with a K, Krust restaurant. I'm going to give you the address if you have a pencil and paper. And you are an artist or crocheter or knitter, and I encourage you, even if you sent a couple hats or a couple scarves, they would so totally, I am sure, appreciate. So the address is 958 South Military Trail, and that is in West Palm Beach. Hi, JJP. Hi, 123. Hi, Christian. Hi, Weiler. Hi, Catherine. Hey, guys. I hope you're all well today. I was going to go out, and I have so much to do here. As I want to get one more book published, and it's pretty well done. I just want to start editing it, because that will probably take me a couple of weeks. So I do have a book. Okay, let me tell you this. I did say over on Instagram and TikTok, but I don't think I told you guys. So this book. Well, this book. This is the art book I wrote. I wrote this book because I get so many questions when we're doing a Boro Sashiko inspired project. I wrote this book for you guys. There's Q&A in the back, answers all those common questions. Do we have to sew the edges, or are the edges raw, or how do I place them down? How do we do this? So, I mean, all these questions, same questions that come in all the time. This book is already written. It's on Amazon. It's Recycle, Inspire, Create, Reviving Earth with Historical Cultural Arts. Because that's what visible stitching is. They give contemporary names like slow stitch and, to talk to you about relieving tension and this and that. It is a historical, cultural art, and primarily known in Japan way back. They say the 1400s. They find pieces that go thousands of years back. Anyway, I talked to you a little bit about the history. I have poems in here. I have pictures of my work. And I'm just trying to find some here of what Boro Sashiko is, and the pieces, and I talked to you about how to do those. And I just, bring you along and talk to you about inspiration with some famous quotes in here. So, okay, so that's that one. The reason, why am I telling you all this? Because I just published another book. But I wanted to explain that one. That's my art book. This is Bridge of Life 1. So Bridge of Life 2 is the one published. And I guess I should do a video on this channel showing you where it is on Amazon if I didn't do that already. I dropped the video in a few different places, but I need to make sure it's here. So it's on Amazon. If you look up my name, Carmella Sear, I do use my maternal Carmella de Sopo Sear, but you will see, if you put in my name, Bridge of Life 2, it's going to come right up. It's in Kindle. I'm super happy about it because it's only $2.99. The paperbacks are more, and everything has gone up. Not just our food and gas and housing, but things like this have gone up. So anyway, I'm super happy that it's on Kindle. So it's called Bridge of Life 2, The Traverse. And I will be reading stanzas of it over on Instagram and over on TikTok. If you want me to read them here, I'll do that. But yes, so anyway, today what we're doing is different ways to make a flower. And the first way I want to show you, so we're going to do primarily crocheting flowers, but there are different ways. And this is the first way I want to show you. And I'm just going to put this down. Oh, and I just need actually to move. I have a whole chair of yarn. I'm just going to move it over here so I have it with me, and fabric. Is that your music? Kamashuki, did your music stop? So, this is yarn. Ends up like that because I'm working from it. Okay, so, and then we'll get into the different cute little ways you can make cute little adornments on your, for your hats. So this way, right here, I'm just going to put this down, is, look, these are just little pieces of fabric. Now, I cut these out for a completely different project, but if you take these pieces, and you can, if you put them, those are the thicker parts in the center would be too much. So we'll put that, we'll put these in the center like that, and you can just stitch it together. Super simple. So let me grab some of my, my threads. So you can sew it with either yarn. So what this is just simply a really old thrift shop type of sweater. And it's not anything like, you know, all 100% wool, this and that. Doesn't have to be. This actually can even be fabric. And you can even make these, what we'll show you, but you can play around with, like, you know, you can put different little layers. That one's a little too wide. But look, you can put different little layers in there, or different little, if you wanted to, have those be different colors and whatnot, and just make it really cutesy. And you can play around with the center. So let's see if I have do I have my box with me here? No, of course, so sorry, everything's across the room. Let me get everything together here. So you can just take, you know, get out your little stash of buttons or whatever you have. And this one would take a larger button, something like that right in the middle. And, or a bead. I kind of like this bead, because this button is going to have to be washed. The bead is a really cutesy right there. So you can just first give it a few little stitches, however you want, and just kind of put them together. And, you know, seriously, I mean, this isn't anything I have found anywhere to give anybody credit for. This is just kind of a little bit common sense, you know what I mean? Just using our scraps and kind of going along, making our little flowers, just being really innovative and creative in what you have, your scraps that you have. Okay, so this is a really pretty button, actually. That might work a little bit even better than that. I think, let's see if, now when you use embroidery needles, the only thing to remember is sometimes they may not go through. Let's see if it fits all the way through. It does. That's a lovely. But sometimes they're so wide-eyed, they may not fit through the little buttonhole. So that's one way to make a flower. That's just a really cutesy little way to make a flower. Okay, and this is, you know, and you could just cut this out from scrap pieces of a sweater. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead now. We're gonna start our crocheting. And I just wanted to show that to you because it's such a pretty little knitted couple of pieces. I got actually a bag. So I'm probably going to use some of these for flowers, and I'll probably spiffy it up a little bit, making them a little bit more even and whatnot. So for this one, I think, so the yarn, I don't think I did weave it in. One of these I didn't weave in, that one. So the yarn on this is variegated, and it gets this light. And I really, really like the formation of it. So because I've got so much of this in the lighter, the beige, I'm going to use that to make a flower. So the simplest, we'll start with one of the simplest way, I think. If you know how to do a chain, you know how to make a flower. Let me get my crochet hooks. And you can use, you know, whatever size. I've got so many of these. Tons of them. Oh, here's the one I'm looking for right in front of me. Okay. So now the lovely thing about using a larger hook is you're going to get the looser chains, the pretty, pretty, pretty flower chain. So we'll make one next, but this is a very small hook. This is an A-turn-I. I'm covering up the birds again, aren't I? There they are. Here's Bishuki. Yeah. I don't know if you can see their nest at all. There they are. Okay, so for those of you who do want to see the birds. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a simple chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I do need to take a sip of, and then I'm going to do a slip knot. And I'm just going to take a sip of this. This is a cinnamon hazelnut coffee by New England Coffee. And it is really good. Okay, so I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing 7 chain. And I'm just simply going, I'm going to wrap that around. I wrap it around. I go in the middle, slip stitch it. And you kind of got a nice little, you don't have to slip, you can just slip stitch without wrapping the yarn around, okay? But then I'm going to count 7 again. 1, 2, 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wrapping the yarn around, which you don't have to. Going straight through the middle of my little circle. Look how seriously adorable that is. The wrap around the yarn, you're technically making a single crochet. It just gives it a little more substantial base there. That's all that does. 1, 2. Now we're going to make 7 chains again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm wrapping the yarn around. I'm going straight through the center, and I'm just bringing that through, so I kind of get a little single crochet there. It doesn't really show, but okay. So now I have 4. Now you can make as many of these as you want, okay? So, but we're just gonna make, first we'll just make a simple little flower, And then the next one, we're going to make it larger chains, and we're going to get a little more complicated and a little more daring. Okay, 1, no patterns. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wrap it around, bring it through the center. And you know, if you left it, I often say this, if you leave it, you've got kind of like a little butterfly. If you wanted to kind of put the little, kind of a few more little chains right there, you really have like a little butterfly effect. So I'm going to put one more petal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to wrap the yarn around and go right straight through the center. So anyway, and now I'm just going to slip knot that, and that's it. And then I'll pull those tails through. But look seriously how adorable that is. Now, let me just see something. Yeah, I mean, that's super cute. Now I'm going to make some more flowers because I'm not sure what type I want to put on there yet. Okay, so that's that one. Now, what I like to do is simply make the little circles, like little nesting circles, I'll call them. Okay, super simple. And I'm going to use a larger hook for this. I'm going to use a J. And I'm just simply going to make a little circle. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch to connect. Okay. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to, in the very next, right smack in the middle of my circle, I'm going to do a double crochet. Okay. I'm going to chain 1. Right smack in the middle of that circle, I'm doing a double crochet. Chain 1 again. And I'm just repeating this straight around this circle. Just making a circle. Chain 1, double crochet, or right through the center. Chain 1, a double crochet, right through the center. Chain 1, and I'm doing this all the way around. And that's all I'm doing. I'm doing this 1 a row. Now, why am I doing the chain between the double crochets? Is I don't want it to curl on me, and it will start to curl. So you don't want it to curl. You want it to stay nice and flat. Now, if you do want it to curl or you want it to cup, don't put the chains, and you'll get like this. You'll get a pretty little cup flower. We're going to do that. We'll do that after, because you're going to see we're going to build this flower. Thank you for having coffee with me today, guys. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. I had to change my plans today, and as a lot of you know, so I thought I'd get on here and show you how to do the flowers. Okay, now we're getting very, very close to closing. You see the space here? Let me move that. You see the space? So we could probably put, now we could probably put a chain. Let's see, let's test it. And bring connect them through the top part. And that's fine. That works beautifully. Okay, so that came out quite lovely. Okay, So that's one little part to a flower. Now I'm just going to snip that, and then we're going to just tie that. Okay, now I'm going to put that to the side for the moment. I'm going to just leave. I'm going to actually just kind of tuck those in because I'm going to tell you why. Now, when you're tucking your tails into something like this, like an art project, it's not as you don't have to get as intricate as you do with the hat. So you can hide these easily. See, I'm just bringing them around underneath the little row of stitches there, because this is going to be sewn on to another piece, and that will be adhered most likely a little bit more in that way. So I'm going to take the other tail and bring it through also, and just pull that through, and then we're going to clip that a little bit there. Okay, now the other thing you can do, and I had found this, just loved this with this green hat, just love the little blue and pink, is you can do something like, let me just get those a little bit. You can take the flower, you can take different, look, you can take different flowers, shapes, and put them on. You can make these like different colors, but look how cute this one is. That's a really cute. Okay, so we can take different shapes, different colors, and textures, different yarns, and you can design that way. Now let me get some different color yarn. Speaking of different color yarn, and you know, you don't really need that much. Now this one, what I'm going to do is, because I want to, actually I'm going to use this side. I want it to be a little bit darker. I want to build, I'm building a flower, okay? I don't need tons and tons of the yarn. So I took a little risk and cut on the other side. But I want to take this now. I want to do two things. I want to give it a center, and I want to put little petals around it. So very first, I'm just going to make sure, well, the center actually, hang on a second. We could play around with that because we could give it a nice little button. So we're going to hold off. We'll hold off on, to crochet a center, all we do, let me show you the center. All you do is chain 5 and connect. And I'm going to use a larger hook because that gives us a little bit more of a mass or volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I'm doing. And I'm slip stitching that together. That's it. And I just want to show you this. I can go around once. I'll tell you what, we'll go around once. I'm going to chain 1. And all I'm doing is going in and doing a single crochet. That's it. Around. I'm going to chain 1. I'll do a single crochet around. Chain 1. And I'm going like in each stitch right now because it's such a small little piece. Chain 1, and I just go in the next stitch. If I end up doing 2 in a stitch, it's probably okay, because I think I did there actually. Chain 1, single, watch how cutesy this comes out though, because single crochet, you can do, believe it or not, single crochet, it will take you a long time. You can make an entire hat, And you can even do a slip stitch, okay? It's like ridiculous. I mean, it is. It's like ridiculously simple and just beautiful. So now I'm going to connect this. Okay. But look what I did. All I did was single crochet going around. These tails are really long. We do not need them that long. So I'm just going to tuck these in right now so I can use this to demonstrate. I'm going to tuck them in. And we're going to make sure. I don't know about you guys, but we got a beautiful sunny day today. I mean, we actually have been blessed. They do keep talking about storms and everything coming in. But, I mean, I don't know. Okay, so look how adorable. Super simple. Now I've got a center. Now it's a little big. That's a little bit bigger. That's why I was going to stop. So I just want to show you. Okay. So I'm going to make, because I'm just doing this with you today, just taking up your time. I'm going to make, I want to show you when I was just going to stop at chain 5. I'm going to use a really large, I think this is my L. Yeah, it's my L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now all you're going to do is connect it. I just want to show you how you get your little bud in the center. Slip stitch, okay? And then you're just going to do your little knot there. Okay. Now, I almost wonder if I can leave those. Are kind of cutesy. But look, no, seriously. I don't know. Maybe I'll tuck them in. But there's your little bud. Now that looks, actually I'm going to tuck those in and we'll put this down so you can see these pieces, these flowers a little bit better because they're really cutesy. I mean, you can play around with the sizes a little bit there and give yourself, you know, like let yourself really enjoy it because there's so many different little designs. And you know, these can be little magnets, okay? They don't have to be, they can be pins. You know, you can make these little adornments for your hat, but you can also make them to be other things. Okay, now this is so tiny, this one. So all I'm going to do with this is, I want to clip these tails, but what I got to do is make a nice little knot there. Now watch what I'm going to do, because this is what I want to do. I want to see if this works at all. I'd kind of like to just have that come through as the center of the flower. And I'm going to clip those so they're kind of like the little bud of the flower, you know, in the center. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't, I'll tuck them in the back. And they got to be clipped again. I think that's cute. Now, I just really like that. So this can go right smack in the center. Now, if you don't like that, maybe it doesn't look, maybe it does look better without those. Maybe those should be in the back, which I'll just turn it around. Okay, so look though, look how cutesy that is. So you can have it as the center of the circle, or you can have it over here with your little petals. Now we're going to give this one petals, okay? So I'm going to turn this around, and let's see. We'll give it We'll give it some blue petals. Well, hello there, guys. Oh, I keep getting the birds out of the. I think I accidentally somehow made that larger. I don't know how. Sorry about that, but we'll get them back in here. There they are. Okay, I somehow magnified that. Okay, so now to make the flower, it's the same thing to make the petals. You can choose, I'm so sorry, I don't know why that's magnifying quite like that. Let me just flip that. There, that's better. So to make the petals, you want to use the same concept. Decide like what you want that chain to be. Do you want it to be, you know, small little teeny chains where you've kind of got a tight stitch there? Do you want to use 5 or 7 or 6 or different sizes going around? So if we use, I'm going to use a larger hook, a J hook, and we're going to use different sizes going around, okay? So first I'm going to do, excuse me, I want to do a slip stitch. And now I'm going to do a chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I'm going to wrap around because I do want my single crochet down here. Okay, so I'm going to do 7. Now I'm going to do, I can come back around and use a different color yarn, or I can continue with this and just do a little loop with, so we did 7, so let's just do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to secure it in the same space, okay? Because I want to emphasize these. So now I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to wrap my yarn around and come in this next space. So in each space, I'm going to do 7 and then 4. So now I'm going to do chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap my yarn around, secure it into that little space. Okay. Excuse me. And you can make your flowers any way you want. It's just experimenting. This isn't a pattern, so I don't even know how this is going to come out. I'm curious to see, and I love to do the designing and taking time to see how this will come out. And sometimes I'll stop like right in the middle and just see, how does that look? Oh, that's cool. Or how does that look? You know what I mean? So, okay, now we're going to do 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the other thing you could do is you could do 3 or 4 different sizes. You could do 7, 6, 5, 4. You know what I mean? 7, 6, 5. You could do like that. There's no reason why you can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm doing 7 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the only thing I'm not doing, I'm doing my 7 as a spin-off from my last, like 7 and 4. I'm just doing 7. What some people might say is, oh, you should do a chain and then, you know, little slip stitch around and then do you know, like that to get to your next loop, but I'm not doing that. So this is because I want to see how this comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not doing that. I'm not, you know, you learn the basics, you learn the traditional rules. And I don't want to say so you can break them, but so you can be creative, you know what I mean? So you can figure out how to do your own way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Someone's actually cutting a tree down outside, or branches or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a lovely day to do it. Okay, now look how seriously pretty this is coming out. Can you see the little ridges and whatnot? This is not a pattern. This is just something I made up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think the little spin off when I'm doing 7 off of that and then going into the next loop, it's what's making it so very pretty. I honestly do think that's what it is. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing 7 and 4 in the same space. That's all I'm doing. 2, 3, 6, 7. Next space, single crochet to close it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, single crochet, close it. Look how pretty this flower is. Seriously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't wait to see it up against the hats there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet, and we're almost done. 4. These are very quick way. Flowers are very quick anyway. You know, they really are. I mean, now there are. With that said, I've seen in the past, and I had a book on making flowers. Some of them could be very complicated because they have you doing a single crochet for this whole patch, and then rolling it, and then having various kind of having the row slant, and you could do, you know, you could take a piece of fabric or knitted old crochet or something and test it before you start doing that yourself anyway. Okay, now where was I here? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, so we're almost done here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I had made some incredibly beautiful flowers on a mandala blanket I made. I sold 2 of them to people in California. Okay, I had flowers on there. Built the flowers, built the flowers, built the flowers. Like, you can keep building and building and building on a flower, and you can start any way you want. You can make it huge, like the diameter, and then, you know, make the pieces that you're building the flower with smaller onto the flower. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or, you know, you can, whoops, this one I did incorrectly. I didn't do that right. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I had put extra there. So you can do these flowers really any way you want. I say experiment, and if you're starting out, like this is like new to you or something, write down what you're doing. because if you, like, I've got this, like I know what I've done this 100 times, these different. So, look how beautiful. Hang on, I'm gonna tie this off. Look how gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Hang on. It really is just beautiful. I just love this. The thing of it is, I say write it down if you're not used to creating your own little patterns and your own little flowers and projects. Because if you love it, you want to make sure you know what I mean, what you're doing, and you come back to it. Now, let me just get rid of the tails. Let's get these tails, kind of bring them. First of all, they're really long. They're way too long for a little ornamental piece. And I'm just going to pull them through underneath. I'm not going to worry too much about weaving back and forth and all over the place with these. Okay, because these are ornamental pieces, and I'm going to also be sewing them, and what will happen is these tails will get adhered anyway into those pieces. In this particular case, in the hat. So then I'm going to clip that. You see, I just went the other way, like a little. So this is the thing. If you do a little U-turn, it confuses the memory of the yarn, because yarn has memory. It will just work its way out. But if you have a knot and you're going different, look how adorable that is. Okay. This one, it looks like I had gone a little bit longer, but that's okay. I mean, this is just, look, that is a beautiful, beautiful flower. Okay. So, and it didn't take long. We're doing this in real time. But let's just look at how it would, oh, this is pretty. That's it right there. That's gorgeous. I don't even need to look farther. So, and this is just a little bit larger hat, little bit different variation. But look how big, it's just lovely. Now I could put a tiny little, but look, that takes away. Do you see how it takes away from the beautiful contrast we were just looking at? Let's take it off, look. Sometimes less is more. Okay, now let's see if we put that, no, it takes away. So it may not even need a button. It may be just beautiful like that. I just love this. Love it. You can do different things like this. Let's say you didn't want that center and you wanted another little loopy loop. You could do like that. Okay. So so that's gorgeous. So that's another way to do a flower. So that's with the loops. So let's see if I'm just thinking off the top of my head. See if I can do this. I'll use the yellow. I'm gonna try to remember this. Look at this yarn. That is not good yarn. When it unwinds like that, that is not a good yarn. So what you can do, anyway, is I'm going to use a larger hook, and I'm going to do chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm going to slip stitch. Okay. Now, see if I can remember the puff, because there is a pretty flower you can make with the puff. Okay, so I'm going to do chain 1, and I'm going to pull up wrap around, go in, pull up yarn, wrap around, go in. I'm going in the center. Sorry. Pull up. It's a little awkward. So I did that. I'm going to wrap around one more time. So I think I did that 5 times, right? And now I'm going to pull. Now I'm going to pull this through. And I'm going to do a slip stitch. This is a puff. Wasn't sure I'd remember how to do a puff. I hadn't done a puff in a long time. So, okay, that's a puff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do 2 chains, okay? Now, I don't want to it to come out like a granny square, because that's what this is going to be similar to. But let's go ahead and do 5 more, and this is called the puff crochet stitch. Okay, so that's 1, this is 2, 3. You're just wrapping the yarn around, going through, pulling it up, wrap around, go through, pull it up. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, now you just simply pull through that. Now you got a second puff. You see it? You're gonna secure it with a slip stitch. You see it? So now when we get 4 of these, you're gonna have a flower, like a little flowery effect, but it's also gonna remind you of the granny square. So I'm gonna do chain 2. 1, 1, 2, chain 2, okay? And now I'm going to do in the center. Okay, I'm not going in any stitches. I'm just going smack in the center. That's all I'm doing. I'm pulling up yarn. I'm wrapping yarn around, going through, pulling it up. Okay, going in, pull it up, wrap it around. Pull it in, pull it up, wrap it around. So we did that 3 times. Let's do that 2 more times. That's our puff. Okay, look, when you get it to where you want it, just pull the hook straight through, and then you're gonna, it's like you're tying it when you do your little your little slip stitch is what that is. It looks like we made this one just a teeny tiny bit smaller, but not too much to even worry about. So chain 2. But look at this yarn. It's splitting. That's not good yarn. Okay. So now I'm going to do 1 more of these puffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoops. So I can't see little finches again. Sorry about that. And now I'm going to pull this all the way. Whoops, I'm going to do 1 more. I don't know if I did 5. Yeah, I did do 5. Okay. So I'm going to pull that through. And I'm going to, look how adorable. Now I could actually do 1 more for a petal. You see it? You see how cutesy that is? Those are the puff stitch. That's called the puff stitch. Okay, 1, 2. Why am I doing chain 2? I'm doing chain 2 so it doesn't curl up, okay? Or else it's going to be too tight. I'm not going to be able to go around. So now I'm going to, this takes a lot of yarn. The puffs always take a lot of yarn. But I think the puffs are lovely for an adornment. Or like you're making a hat and you just kind of put them sporadically. So you put the yarn around, bring the hook all the way through, pull the yarn up. You're not doing anything else right now. You're going to do that like 5 times because you're not doing anything, because you're not making a single crochet or half double crochet or double crochet or triple crochet. You're making a puff. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go through 5. And you don't want to do anything with it until you're ready to make the little puff. And that's when you connect it. And then we're going to do 1, 2 chain, and then we're going to connect this. Look how, seriously, let me just tie that off. You see that in real time. It didn't even take us that long. I mean, let's just see how that looks on a hat. So let me get rid of the ties first, the tails. And I've got so many here, I'm going to knot some of these straight together to just kind of give it a little reinforcement. For endurance there, and then I'm going to trim these. And I want to take these and hide them into the puffs. The nice thing about the puffs are that, yes, you have plenty of layers to hide the yarn in. Plenty. Alright, that one gave me a little trouble there. There we go. Look at that. Is that just not adorable? So let's just see. Okay, so we got this flower. Let's just take it off for a second. I mean, it's totally different vibe, kind of like a little button puff. I don't really like it on this. Let's see how it would look. I do love this. I think that's this looks like a snowflake, you know that? And we didn't follow any pattern, nothing. We just did it. Okay. I just want to see what this looks like. We got the flowers on that side, but let's turn this around. Yeah, this would go. This might go a little bit. And you got to remember too, this is a completely different yarn than this yarn. And a lot of times when you stay with the same yarn, it flows. It's just your eyes and the design and everything just flows beautifully. But so that's that. I just want to see how it looks on the blue. Of course, this one has its own 2 little flowers. You can hardly see. Oh no, that is one flower on there. Sorry. It's the I have another hat that. Yeah, sorry about that. That's the 2 flowers. Okay. Let's see that. Okay, so this, yeah, that's a lovely too. The sun is shining in, so that's why I can't see. Now, with this puff, let's just, for the heck of it, put some loops on it. And then we're going to call it good for today. Now, we used a very large, we used L to, oh no, we used J, actually, to make the loops. So, to make the petals, let's make them a different color for the heck of it. I really don't know what the red is going to look like, but I'm curious. So we'll use red, and we're going to give it some petals. We're going to use the very same concept. We're just going to make a chain. So the first thing we want to do is really secure this. And so we're doing a slip stitch, and then we're going to go ahead and do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. That's a chain of 7. And I'm going to wrap it around because I do want a nice substantial base. So I want a single crochet there. Okay? So I'm going to chain a 1. And then I may have to chain, let me chain, yeah, you know why? Because I'm not going to chain 1. I'm not chaining 1. I am going directly right into the next stitch there. And I'm going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm wrapping the yarn around and I'm coming down and I'm doing a single crochet to give it a nice little base. Okay, that's what I'm doing. And now I'm going to do 7 again. Or, no, I'm not. I'm going, sorry. Before I do that, I'm going into the next stitch that I can find, my next space, pulling it up to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm coming down to secure that. Now I'm noticing with the larger hook, yes, I'm having a little trouble securing that. And I went a space over. So because this is not a pattern or anything, I am kind of improvising. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm coming down in the very, very next space. So it's nice and close. I want to make sure that, because if it's not close, I won't get the, I'm going to have to turn this way because of the sun. I won't get the kind of the wavy effect or rippling kind of ruffly effect. If they're far away, like if I skipped a couple of stitches, I'd get like a little loop effect. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to come down right next to it. I'll just come through that space. And then do 7 again. This yarn is splitting, so it's making it really a little difficult, to be honest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is this yarn? Yeah. This is Hometown, so this isn't a review. This is just what's happening. It is splitting. And is it recycled? It's 100% acrylic. It doesn't say it's a recycled yarn. I might be a little more forgiving if it was. I don't know. I don't know why it's splitting like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm coming down right next to it with a single crochet and then doing 7 more. Yeah, this yarn, woohoo. I mean, and I'm using an L. I'm using an L hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn around, come down next to the next stitch. Do a, you're doing a single crochet to kind of secure it. Do chain, look at, we're almost done. This is in real time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come down in the next little space there and do the very same thing. I love making flowers in the winter. I mean, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's so uplifting. Look at that split. Like, I just lost 2 strands there. See if I can get them. Okay. Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I keep looking at the label because I'm like, did I make a mistake on the type of yarn? Okay. And I'm going in my very next little stitch right next to it. Do a single, look how beautiful that is for a flower. I mean, you know what I mean? These are gorgeous. And these are, oh, seriously, these are not patterns. This is just having fun. Okay, and we'll go over all the little things. Because the next one we're going to do, we'll do a triangle triangle granny square. That's the next, and then we'll call it quits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can use any size hook you want. You can use any kind of yarn you want. And I encourage you to experiment with the types of, let's see if we can get our little finches on. Oh man, Mashuki. I don't know if you can tell, but they're both right now in their nest in the corner. And so the sun, I mean, they are not nesting. They're not even close to that. 1, 2, but they're playing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're playing and training themselves to do that. That's what birds do. That's what they do. They train themselves. They get used to, I mean, they're doing all kinds of things. Like they are passing the little twigs and food and paper and whatnot to each other. They're passing it to each other. Like they're practicing to find food and like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. See that totally split on the 6th, 6, 7. Look, you could leave a bunch of strands like that for a flower. We'll try that next. Let's try it next for the heck of it. See what that looks like. Okay. Look, we only have that much left to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the puff stitch on this particular flower that we did is, I think, really super puffy because this is a medium heavy weight yarn. It's a medium heavy weight yarn. 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. And it's a splitting medium weight. It keeps splitting. But the thing is, it makes the puff come out heavier and, you know, bigger, okay? Of course, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This, to me, this flower is coming out so large. It could go on a flower, on a hat. I mean, it's a huge flower, but it might go on something more like a bag. You know, if you make like a granny square bag. I mean, it doesn't have to be granny square. You make, or you sew a bag. It doesn't have to go on a hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what the finch is doing is breaking up an eggshell that I put in there earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're nearly done with this. Now I do like doing the single crochet. If you don't do the single crochet at the base, after you do each one there, the loops will be more floppy. That's the only thing I have found. That's kind of like my own little insight going on. So that's why I like to put the little single crochet. at the end there to kind of, you know, lock it in place. I'm sorry, I pulled this over a little, kind of getting a little introverted there. 3, 4, a 5, a 6, 7. Okay. Look how, oh, that's too wide. See, look, I went over too far. I went over too far because I'm working in a space. I should have come over here. Okay. Now I can do 7. Now we're on the last one probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. It's still over there a little bit, but that's okay. It's not too bad. 1, 2. It's the spacing of your petals. Once you decide what you want for your spacing, or you have a little pattern you want, like you want to skip a few stitches, or you want to go in the same, like this one, we worked in the same stitch for 2 different variations of the chain, the 7 and the 4. But look, I didn't know it was going to come out just so beautiful with the little pointy points. How adorable is that? Anyway, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is, I'm going to be honest, this is a huge flower. This is huge. This flower belongs probably on a bag or something. But look, we got the tail in the back. Look how adorable. Hang on a second. Let me get these tails out of the way. We'll get these out of the way. Now, when they're that close, see how close the tails are? You can tie them right together and make a little knot. Okay? And then you can take your hook, take a little bit smaller hook, like a J hook, and just weave them. Here, I'll put this down to show you. Okay, so we got all this here. So this is gorgeous. This came out really, really nice. You know, and this is the fun of being innovative and kind of, you know, creative. And you're not sure, because you're just not sure what it's going to look like. And I gotta use smaller. Now I could use embroidery needle. This is kind of a little bit tight, kind of this right here. I think what I'm going to do is pull it through the puff stitches, because that definitely is more substantial. You see that? You see how they're fitting through there pretty well, okay? So, and then we've got, oh, I found that little stitch, those little tails. So, you know, you could take a little time to spiffy up the tails, trim them, but make sure, you know, you're tucking them away and you're taking that time. But, you know, for an adornment, now the other little trick, by the way, with tails, this is a little trick some people do, excuse me, is they use a little fabric glue. On an adornment, it works well. On a hat, I wouldn't do that. But an adornment, use a little fabric glue, and you can just dab it if you're afraid it's going to pull out. So that's just an idea. It's just a way. It's a thought. And I'm just going to get this hook is probably too small I'm using. But that's good. And these are super long, so I'm going to clip that. Okay, so this flower, for the minute, I'll go back and spend even more time on that. Look at this flower though. Okay, so let's put this back up and let's just see, for the heck of it, I'm just going to show you how big this flower is. Now this flower is absolutely adorable. This is a small medium hat. This flower is adorable on this, and this is a little bit larger hat. So let's see the red. Look at the size. Seriously, look at the size. You see the size? Let's see what diameter we ended up with. Yeah. Look. You see that? 5. That means it's a 10-inch diameter. This is big. This is almost as big as a hat. Okay, hat is 20-inch diameter. Anyway, that's cutesy. What we could do even is put another little, you know, like that in the center, or a button. So the button goes kind of nice. Oops, that's backwards, sorry. Yeah, that's my tail there. I've got to work on that. But this is the puff, and then this is just the, it's just 4 or 5 puffs we did, right? And then there's the chain, like 7s we did. Okay, that's a beautiful flower. I mean, it's the first one I did like that. So for me, for the next one, what I'm thinking is we don't use a heavy yarn, but we use a lighter yarn. The thing is, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't have a lot of yarn nowadays. Let's see here. This Premier Puzzle yarn is really beautiful. Let's see here. Okay, so this is what I would do. Let's do this for the heck of it. This is, I'm going to be honest, to me this is a little gaudy, but this is a puff stitch, and these are chains. So you get that much out of that. Now, to me, this is very pretty. I really like that. That's like a little snowflake. And all this is we did a circle. That's all we did. We did a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's all we did, one round, right? On this one. And then we came in and did our little chains. We did chain 7 and then a chain 4, all in one space. This is lovely. If I was looking for a pattern, I wouldn't be able to find one this pretty. Seriously, I just made it up. Okay, so that's how we did that. So I just want to show you one more time, for those of you who are just kind of joining us. We're just going to do this one more time, the puff. Okay, so I'm using a J hook, and because I do think the puff is going to look better in this yarn. 1, 2, we're going to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're just going to slip stitch the little circle together. Okay, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm just going to go in right smack in the center. Okay, oh, and then we got to do granny square. So a granny square flower, I want to show you how to do a triangle granny square. Okay, so you can use it as a flower. So anyway, you go in, let me try that again, let me show you again. Wrap around. This is how I remember to do puffs. Now it might be a variation of a yarn or two that I'm not doing, but you wrap around, go through, pull through, wrap around, go through, pull through. We did that 2 times. Let's do that 3 more times. Wrap around, go through, pull through. 1, 2, 3. Now I might be doing it too many times, but then you wrap around, you're just going to pull your little yarn straight through, and then you just think in your mind you're tying it together, so you're going to just slip stitch it. That's a puff. And then just do chain 2, 1, 2. Do the same thing 5 times, okay? Wrap around yarn in, pull it up. Wrap around yarn, hook in, pull it up. We did that 3. Let's do it 2 more times. That's all you're doing. And then you're going to connect everything together. It kind of looks like a little, it's starting to look like a little granny square, isn't it? A little bit, but a puffy one. So we're going to chain 2. Whoops, did I do that or not? Okay. I keep thinking I've got an extra chain there for some reason. No, that's my puff. I don't want to lose my puff. There, okay, 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to yarn over, put the hook in right in the center of your circle, pull up. You're not doing anything else because you don't want to make the stitch yet. You need to do this 5 times to get that stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull. Now you're going to pull all the way through and make that stitch. This is going to be a cute flower. It just is. 1, 2. We're going to do the same thing 5 times. And be careful of those tails. The tails get in the way. 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through. Secure it. And I'm thinking I could leave it like that, or I could do 1 more puff. And I'm going to do 1 more puff. Whoops, I think this is the tail. Yeah. So I'm going to do 1 more puff. 1, 2. And I'm going in here. Yarn over, put the hook through, pull. Yarn over, put the hook through, pull yarn up. So we did that 3 times. We need to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, put yarn through, pull. Okay, now yarn over. Now you're going to pull all the way through to make your little puff and slip stitch. There you go. Can you see it? Look how cutesy that is. Okay, now we want to do a chain 2 before we finish, and we just want to connect it with a slip stitch. And now we're going to tie our little knot. Whoops. Almost lost that. Okay, and here, because we ended on the round, our little tails are matching, like they're in the same spot, which is nice, because then I can pull this through, and I can just tie a little knot like that. And I'm going to trim them, but then I'm going to pull them. Okay, so I have a nice little knot, and now I can just pull those 2 through underneath. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get this underneath the stitches. I'm pulling them through. Okay, and then I'm going to clip those. Look how adorable this is. Is that just not the cutest little flower? Now, you see what I mean about the bulky, too thick, heavy, you know, but we were messing around, playing around. That's okay. This is lovely. So let's see what it looks like against. Now, you could do a couple things with this. You could take this and you could put it right smack in the middle of, you know, one that you have all frilly. Let's see how it looks. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on now. So I think I'm going to do a bunch of these little puffs for the hats. So, okay, last thing I want to show you. So I'm going to put these here. These just little ways to make flowers, that's all. So what, I'll put those down. We'll look at those lastly. So what I'm going to show you now, and I hope I do this right, but I'm thinking of this in my mind, and I think I did this a long time ago, is a little triangle granny square. So we'll do it in green. Let's do it in green. Now, granny squares are just the cutest darn little things to make. The nice thing about a granny square is you can make it with just one round. You do not have to go 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. You can do a 1 round. Okay, so let's just see. Let's just do 1 round. Let's see what we get here. Okay, with 3. Okay, so we're going to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope my YouTube community is doing well. You are so talented and so wonderful. You are amazing. If I didn't say that, I'm saying it now. You really are. I just think of some of the things that you guys do. Okay, now I'm going to slip stitch and just connect that chain 5. Okay, so now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I did chain 3. That's going to count as a double crochet. And I'm going to come in straight through the center, and I'm going to do a double crochet, and I'm going to do 1 more. Remember we do our sets of 3 double crochets. The camera on the little birdies too. Where are you guys? I keep covering them up. I don't mean to do that. I know some people might be watching them. See, the sun though, that's why I keep turning. That's why I have to turn this. I have to. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I did 1 set of 3 double crochets. And now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. Ooh, did I do that twice or not? You gotta watch that. 1, 2. Now I'm going straight through the center, and again I'm going to do 3 sets. Now I'm just doing a regular double crochet. The second one, the tail is mixed in there, is another double crochet, and then we're doing a 3rd double crochet. Okay, now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. And I am doing a 3rd set of double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to chain 2. And that's all I'm doing. That is all I'm doing. I just want to show you. It should come out. It should come out as a triangle. I don't know if it's going to or not. We'll see. It kind of doesn't. I'm going to be honest. It's supposed to. Well, I guess it kind of does. But it doesn't. It's still, this is still, it isn't a circle though either. Let's get those tails. Okay, so that is a granny square with just 3. Let's see if we can get its shape. Hold on a second. Because I do remember doing these, and I had to play around with the shape a little bit. But regardless, I'm going to be honest, to me, it just doesn't matter. It makes the cutest darn little flower. I just really like it with the 3. This is 3 of the double crochets. But look, it kind of came out like a little circle still. So let's try it with the 4. Well, a typical granny square is 4 sets of the double crochet. But this is, and we're going to do a different color, just so you can see. This is possibly maybe because I did chain. No, that's it right there, I guess. That is it. I'm sorry. That is it. This, I know last time I did this, I had to play with the, play around with it a little bit. Now, I'm looking at this thinking, I think I accidentally put an extra double crochet in there. I think that's why it didn't come out, because this is more of a rounded version of a triangle. It is a triangle. This is not your typical granny square, that's for sure. But at the same time, it doesn't have the pointy point. So for me, I'm going to play around with the variation of that. But that is kind of a little rounded triangular granny square from what I can. And all I did was the 3 sets of the double crochets, 3 instead of the 4. Now, a granny square, this is a little too long here, typically has your 4 sets of your double crochet, of your 3 sets of double crochets, and that in itself can be a little adornment too. So this definitely can be an adornment. And again, all I did was chain 5. So for those of you who don't know how to do the granny squares, you chain 5, connect it, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you do a double crochet. And then you do another double crochet. So this is just playing around to make little adornments for your hat. Chain 2 and then do 3 double crochets in a row. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to decorate it a little bit more. And then chain 2, and then you do another set of 3 of the double crochets. Yeah, I think what I did wrong on this one is I did 2 chains at the end instead of just 1 or just closing it. So, okay, so I'm going to do my last set of 3 double crochets, and I think I'm going to have to sneeze. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You know what it is? The sun is shining. It hasn't shone in a month. Okay, so and then we're going to chain 2 and we're going to close this off. So this is our granny square with our typical 4 granny squares. It's a really cutesy. This one only has Oops, sorry. This one only has 3, and I kind of had to play around with it a little bit to make it look like a little triangle, and it really doesn't look like. I may have put too many chains there. So sometimes just that one tiny little thing can make a huge difference in some of your projects. Okay, so this one I just want to show you something. How I'm going to decorate this adorable little granny square. And again, I just want to say, granny squares are just crazy adorable. I mean, seriously. This is one round. One. You can make 100 of these in like no time. Sew them together and make a bag. Or you can even make a hat or a skirt any way you want like that. You can do that in one round. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm so fascinated by it. I've got all these other projects I've got to do, and I want to do this one. So, okay, so this is a granny square. I just want to show you. This was a circle. This one right here was a circle. This was a circle of just all double crochets. That's it. Double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain. That's what this was. And I did the chains of 7 and 4 going around. Now this one I'm just going to do some chains. Oh, I'd like to just use this. Kind of use the minimalist earth tone. Use the gray. So I'm just going to go around this. That's all I'm going to do in the spaces. And I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to give it a little, I'm going in the next couple of spaces there. I'm just going to give it little loops going around, okay? I'm skipping 2. Okay, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Okay, and going around, skipping like 1 space, and then doing a single crochet to secure it, okay? And I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch how vintage this looks. I'm not kidding you, this is adorable. I'm skipping a space, just going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skipping a space and securing it with a single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is in real time. Look how adorable this is. Seriously? You can do this with every single one of your granny squares. I'll hold this up in a minute. You can do this with every single one of them. You can make, yes, a little flower type like this, or just do every single one like this and make a bag or whatever you want out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love this. This is so adorable right now. And it's the vintage vibe with the earth and tone colors. That's what's really making this pop right now. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know, you can get as creative. And I cannot emphasize enough, it's testing and trying things out. And you've seen me doing it right here today in real time. Some of them coming out a little gaudy, not pretty much what we wanted, but some of them coming out stunning, like the little puff flower. Stunning. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into next space to secure it. And then right from there, do not do any extra anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5. And you know, this is the time of year, Christmas, Thanksgiving. These little projects are just so gratifying. They're so gratifying because they don't stress you out. You can take your time to do them. Like, if you do attempt a large project, give yourself plenty of time. Don't even set a goal date. I mean, in my opinion, that could stifle you too. It could really, play with your head and energy and timing, and you're trying to do it all. 2, 3, 4, 5. So look, we're doing this in real time and we're like done. This is in real time. 4, 5. Okay, now I'm just going to do a little chain there. And what I want to do is just slip stitch. No, I don't want to put that much of a stitch. I'm going to slip stitch it here. And then I'm going to, look, my stitches ended up in the exact spot. That's because I went just one round, just did a full round. Yeah, I mean, I have to get my tails in the back. But look at this. Is that just that's a granny square, guys. That's what we just did, was a granny square. And all we did was we worked in each space. I kind of like this, down like that, actually. I do kind of like that. But, so you can see the granny square. You see the 3 and the 3 and the 3 and 3. Anyway, this is just too cute. Let me see how it looks here. Oh yeah, I mean, that's adorable. That's adorable. And okay, so we did all of these. I hope that that gives you some ideas. And so from the little puff flower to the very simple double crochet and chain flower, to the granny square and little chain flower, to just a very simple loop or a very simple circle. I hope that you got some ideas out of this, and I hope that you will make some beautiful flowers. You can make, so what can you make with flowers like this? You can make pins, magnets, you can make garlands, you can make, yes, the flowers for your hats, you can put them on a belt, you can pin, put them on your luggage. What I want to do next is make some cozies for my plants. My plants, I have every single night now moving them way into the house. I'm very nervous about them getting super cold near the window. So I want to make some plant cozies. I want to crochet them, and maybe, put little flowers like this on. I really like this little puff one we made today. This is a really cutesy, really adorable. It's just I just love it. And this teeny tiny little, I don't know about putting that in the center. I think it takes away. I think this is fine the way it is. Anyway, with that, I hope that you enjoyed this. Now, if you're making hats, and like I am, and you want to send them to Jamaica, as I'm going to do, when I get about 2 more, I'll send them this week to Jamaica, for the Jamaica relief for the storm that they had. to, this is the address, Golden Crust Restaurant. I'll put it in the content after this, but it's Golden Crust Restaurant, crust with a K. It's 958 South Military Trail, West Palm Beach, Florida. Zip code is 33415. So that's why I'm making these little hats. And because I'm not going to the art and craft, as you know. And so I'll put different little adornments on them. And I'm going to make some different sizes and get those off to Jamaica. So I hope that inspires you to do the same. And let me know if you're making something for them. And if you have an address that you found. I had a very hard time finding this address. It took me a long time because most people are looking for a monetary charity, and a few are out there saying, okay, you can send some clothes and hats. So anyway, with that, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you for being with me today. You've made my day really beautiful and wonderful. Thank you, and you have a beautiful day. Love and light.